Okay, today's lesson has to do with um, finding the surface areas of prisms and cylinders. I went ahead and made a net of this shape, and if you notice, the net is just you've opened up a three-dimensional figure into two dimensions. So there's my net on the side, and the key is to label the dimensions. I know that the top and the bottom face have the same dimensions, 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 equals 12 centimeters squared. Now there is a top and a bottom face, so that's going to be times 2. So that's going to give you 24 squared centimeters. Now there's two different types of rectangle. There's the one that's 4 by 5, and I have 2 of those. So 4 by 5 gives you 20 centimeters squared. Those are your front and your back face. There's your front and back. So that, and we have 2 of them. So it's 40 centimeters squared. And then we got the ones that are on the side, which are going to be 3 by 5. So 3 by 5 is 15 centimeters squared times 2. So that's going to be 30 centimeters squared. And now, since we want the total surface area, it's going to be 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, 9, so it's 94 centimeters squared. I'm going to find the area, the total surface area of this triangular prism. It has a triangle as a base, and I know that we're missing the height of this triangle. So I notice that this right here is a right triangle, and this is 3. So to figure this out, to figure out the height, it's going to be a squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. So a squared equals 5 squared minus 3 squared. So that's 25 minus 9. And so that's going to give us a squared. A squared equals 16. We get the square root of both sides, so we know that the height is 4. So now I'm going to be able to find the area of this triangle. So I know that this height is 4, and I know that this distance is 6, and this height is 4. So what I need to do is I need to find the area of each of the pieces, and this is describing a net. A net is something like, if you were to open this up from 3 dimensions to 2 dimensions, it would be a rectangle, 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 and 2 triangles. So let me find the area of the two rectangles that have dimensions 5 by 12. So you have 5 by 12, so that's 60. And there's another one that's 5 by 12, and so that's 60. Then you have the bottom of the prism. So it's going to be 6 times 12, and that's 72. And then the area of the triangle is 4 times 6 divided by 2. So 4 times 6 is 24, divided by 2 is 12, but you have 2 of them. So now what you need to do is just add up all the areas. So your answer is going to be 216 squared centimeters. That's going to be the total surface area. Okay, it says, what is the surface area of this prism? Well, it's a rectangular, it's a triangle, right triangle is a base prism. We know that this is 3 centimeters and 4 centimeters, so if I wanted to find that area, it's going to be 3 times 4 divided by 2. So it's 12 divided by 2, which is 6, but there's 2 of them. So it's actually going to be 12 centimeters squared. So there's going to be two triangles. Now we can find already the area of 2 of the rectangles. 3 times 6 gives you 18 centimeters squared, so we're going to add that amount. The other rectangle is 4 times 6 gives you 24 centimeters squared. Now, this one we need to figure out the length of this right triangle. This is 3, 4, and we already figured it on top. This is a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. In other words, 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. I can show you 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. It's a Pythagorean triple. So that's 5. So 5 times 6. 5 times 6 gives you 30 squared centimeters. So what you're going to have to do with all these, well, actually the ones that are underlined, you're going to have to add up those amounts. So the answer is 84 centimeters squared, or squared centimeters. So this is a hexagonal prism. I do know that it has rectangles as its faces, and I know that this is 12 and 6 meters. So 6 times 12 gives you 72 square meters, and then you multiply times 6 since there's 6 of them. So I have 6 times 72, which gives you 432 meters squared. Now we got to find the area of this polygon. I know that this is a hexagon, and since each side is 6, it's a regular hexagon. I know that the interior angle we found in one of the last lessons was 360 divided by 6, which gives you 60 degrees. This is your apothem, and it's going to bisect the angle, so this is 30, 60, 90. So this side will have to be half the distance. So this is 3. So this will have to be 3 times the square root of 3. And remember, to find the area, it's going to be 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. So area equals 1/2 times the apothem, 3 times the square root of 3. The perimeter, each of them are 6, and we do have 6 sides, so that's going to be 6 times 6, which gives you 36, and then we just have to calculate the area for that. So for the area of the hexagon, it's 31 meters squared, so I'm going to add another 31 meters squared, and that gives us 62 meters squared. And what we have to do with 432 and 62, we have to add it together. So we have 432 square meters plus 62 square meters, and you get 494 square meters as your total area. So we're going to find the radius. We're going to find the total surface area of this cylinder, and you're going to have to multiply pi radius squared. Now there's 2 tops, so that's why you got to multiply times 2. Plus, we're going to have to get the circumference and then multiply times the height. So I just went ahead and explained to you the formula. 2 pi r squared, so we have 2 times pi, the radius is 4, so it's going to be 4 squared, plus 2 times pi times the radius, which is 4, times 6. We have 2 times pi times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. It said to leave it in terms of pi, so we have 32 plus 48, which gives us 80 pi inches squared, or squared inches.